Wait, I should do this, but for the Genesys one. Did they play the Genesys final on stream? Yes? Oh, fuck. Do you guys want to do that? I think that's a bad idea, but... Yes, please. All right, I'm going to pull up Edo in the other tab so that I can look up the cards on the fly. The game was kind of fun. All right, let's go.
Original too, right? It's the original.
Are we going to sit here and watch you spend an hour reading Doomsday cards? Legitimately, no, because I am the only man alive who knows what they do. Okay, here we go.
At the historic 300th YCS, I'm joined again by Jerome McHale and, of course, Joe Giorlando. But the duelists have been waiting, and so have you, so let's jump right into the action.
All right, so we are going to do a little bit of reacting to the Genesys Proto-Ycs final. So this is good. Commentary desk is killer. We have Pheromone, we have Jerome, and we have Joe Giorlando. And this is kind of interesting because Genesys is like Jerome's baby, which means that he is going to be like super cool about this, and the other two, I don't know if they fucking know anything about it. All right, so I want to talk real quickly about the two decks. First off, I want to impress upon you that Doomsday is not a deck that we expected to be good. If you've watched the 100-point playtesting about it, I basically say it's a great deck enabled exclusively by Genesys because of its ability to play the extremely low-pointed Premature Burial, but it is definitely not what I would consider a top choice for this format. Inversely, Radiant Typhoon is insanely strong. Look, I mean, he's reading the card in Finals. So Doomsday Change is the new card that they got in the new set that just came out. It's unbelievable. Destroys a Doomsday in your hand, deck, or field, which procs all their effects. And then if this is changed, you can special a Doomsday from your hand, okay?
It is. The whole Dooms thing, like the attack on the...
Wait, hold up. Before we get any further, are they calling it Dooms? A Dooms card. We're not doing that. We're going to call it Doomsday. Are you out of your mind? So the one that he's destroyed here is a Doomsday 5 Amalth. And if this one is destroyed by a card effect, you can add a Doomsday from your deck to your hand, except himself. All of their cards do this, so they're all functionally searchers. So that card activated is Doomsday Raiders. It's like I guess as close to the one card as you could see. Allows you to destroy a Doomsday in your hand or face a field, special a Doomsday from your deck. You're locked into Xyz, but who gives a fuck? And then if this is destroyed by a card effect, you can pop a monster, and you, of course, have a million ways to do that. So what they've sent here is the Power Patron, which triggers when it is destroyed. You do play a significant amount of cards for this card, just because in terms of Power Patrons, that's a pretty good one. And what they've said here is Doomsday Destruction. Now, this is kind of the sell of the deck. Doomsday Destruction is Droll and Lockbird. It's Mistaken Arrest, I guess is a better way to describe it. Cards can't be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them. And in a world where they put Droll and Lockbird to 25, that's really strong.
The regular monsters you can just turn into the Xyz monsters as long as they're equipped.
So we're summoning out the Drastia here. This is like the evil guy that becomes the anti-Medius. And then we're going to equip him with Doom Zerg. Now, Doom Zerg is a really strange card. The way Drastia works is you can target a Doomsday card you control, including him, and then destroy it and specialist card from your hand. Then put an equip spell from your deck to this card. That's the card you equip. And then as a quick, you can rank up into a wind machine with the same rank as this card's level. It's an 8, so you're always going into Drastirus. And then the equip cards that are on it become materials on the card. So this means not only that Drastirus gets to hang out on your board, but Doomzerg, the card that he equipped, is specifically built to do this. It gives the monster equipped or the Xyz that has it under it the ability to quick effect just destroy a face-up card you control for the rest of the turn. This card gains attack, and it's untargetable. If it's Droll, why isn't it pointed like Droll? Because these decks are allowed to have singleton good cards. All right, so he's just going to fire it off immediately. And MST coming down. Kind of the the downside of this matchup is that MST is so ever present. In fact, I feel kind of bad specifically for the Doomsy player for this reason. Like, here you are with the Equip spell deck, a type of spell that just has to remain on the field in order to resolve, and you're playing against the deck that's just jamming MSTs for fun.
Yeah.
So Nicholas going to go ahead and equip a Dooms monster from the deck to Laura.
All right, so here we're using Lara to equip a Dooms monster. And this is something that's really cool about, I like the Radiant Typhoon build that you see in Genesys compared to the one you see in the TCG. This person, Alan C., is playing a Noble Knights engine. Here, I can, let me see if I can pull it up.
Really kind of stands out. It's just those interesting pieces of other archetypes fitting into the main archetype.
There are a lot of these types of cards that look for a very specific niche.
We do have it, okay. They're playing 3 copies of Noble Knight Shield Bearer, which can be banished at a level 6 or lower Wind Beast monster. And then, what do you know? You can get Horse of the Floral Knights as, like, the cycler, right? That's cool, right? That's enjoyable, right? That's cool, right? Yeah, no? Well, importantly, Eldam is also a beast, so. So we're going Eldam here. The Amalth is ranking up to the Deoctarus. This is, it has the shared effect that the Drastia does as well. Deoctarus is fine. If special summoned, you get to destroy a Doomsy and then a monster on the field. It's just like a pop. And then you do get an equip spell when it leaves the field. Your usual line of play in this deck is you Medius out the Power Patron. Power Patron allows you to rank up into Deoctarus and then equip itself to Deoctarus. Then Deoctarus can pop the Power Patron, triggering its effect.
Oh, yes, my bad. I'll activate Deoctarus.
Diamond Direwolf Powercraft once again. I mean, you have to be playing Doomsy cards, right? All right, so we are going to Deoctarus away the Eldam and just hope. Now we're proccing the effect to grab and equip, and there it is, Premature Burial. I mean, I love this deck for this reason. It really justifies Genesys insofar as this is a setup that would not work in any other format. Although, admittedly, Premat could probably come off the ban list. All right, well, get fucked. We had a couple other Radiant Typhoon monsters. I think that's Megala and Suen, right? He's taking one of them with the Drastia, but the Suen is enough to tribute summon the Crocea. Oh, and because Doomsy is just straight up unpointed, you can play Ash Blossom. Damn, that's a killer Ash Blossom. Holy moly. Mirage of Nightmare! Holy moly. Since you play so much on your opponent's turn in Doomsy, you get to Mirage here. Ogering the Mirage! Okay, sometimes you just have it all, man. He scoops it up. He says, all right, fuck me. Oh, my God. I mean, legitimately, you're going to tell me Genesys is a bad format. You just watched someone search Premat for follow-up, and then their Mirage of Nightmare got Ghost Ogred. Okay, looking at the board real quick, I want to point out some hilarious stuff that's going on. We do, of course, have the Dimensional Fissure as expected, the Mistaken Arrest as expected. When you're going first, these are probably coming in. Against Doomsy, you probably also bring in the Cosmic Cyclone because it's so good at getting, like, Doom Zerg out of rotation. Alternatively, this Doomsy deck obviously has a lot of flexibility in the extra, but it's still just playing these 15 cards. This right here, Gamciel, DD Crow, Slayer, Mistaken Arrest, Dimensional Fissure, I think is probably the #1 most frequent board plan. Like, if you can play Di-Fi, you play Di-Fi. If you can't, you play Lancia somewhere. Otherwise, this is the side deck. And how frustrating is that sideboarding got solved so immediately? The DD Crow is a little different, it not being in main over the Cosmic Cyclone, but honestly, playing this weekend, I love Cosmic Cyclone in main. I was shocked at how little I wanted DD Crow against all the top decks and how much I missed Cosmic. Hey, some people swap the Kaiju for one that has synergy with their deck. Yeah, 2500 with the Vanquish Soul. That's cool, right? It's got the right typings. Okay, so Alan here is pile shuffling, so Nicholas is going to call a judge and get an immediate game win. That's not true, though. I did watch Peeps do that, though. His opponent pile shuffled and he went, sorry, I can't have you doing that, Judge. And the judge was like, you have to randomize after the game. It was very funny. Quick reminder about pile shuffling. You are permitted to pile shuffle as long as you randomize your deck afterwards, and you're not wasting time. It's just like,
when Mirage of Nightmare is active,
I do appreciate that people are coming to the conclusion that it is just bullshit.
now the intention then is for you to then discard the quantity of cards that you drew when it returns.
It's a
back to your
placebo?
turn.
Yes.
You're able to draw into MST, have MST set, draw MST for turn. There's a myriad of ways that that can happen. And certainly
In his heart, Peeps is a Magic player. He's actually the exact opposite. The reason he does the call on pile shuffling isn't because he wants a free win. It's because he doesn't want opponents to have a placebo. He's like, you shouldn't feel good. Trust your deck.
25 years ago,
Dude, I want to say this weekend, by the way, I started trusting my deck. And I was like, there were so many times I was like, I trust my deck to have GamCL on top. And it did. Like, over and over again. I was like, what can you say? Except for my last game, the go-round, I needed to draw a 15 of, like, any named starter, and I drew Valor. I was like, I trust my deck. And I drew it, it was Valor, and I was like, fuck, I lose.
Cards on the table, so this is
yes.
exciting. This could be Nicholas crowning himself the champion of the Genesys
Dude, I
Proto-Ycs.
mean, not to take away from Alan's win. It's incredible. I mean, this Radiant Typhoon build is really good. I'm super excited that it is much different than the ones you see in the TCG. I really did want Doomsy to win. I wanted Doomsy to win so badly.
Attack with a couple of equip cards.
There's not a lot of strategies that I think realistically can afford
Picking and
3
roll
copies of Nibiru and 3
Oh,
copies
that
of
is a
Monster.
killer opener. Look at that.
I mean, that's
6
enough.
different quick play spells. That's about as good as it gets for Radiant Typhoon. I think one of them is Mistaken Arrest, too. That's crazy. So one of the upsides of playing Radiant Typhoon is that in post-boarded games, you just thin your deck so much and then get to draw off of Chant. So you have a way, way higher chance of seeing your sideboarded cards relative to everything else. That's Big Varun here. We're going Manifestation for Big Varun. I guess I don't need to specify Big or Little Varun because in this format there's only one. You can see him thumbing the Chant here. Ooh, stymie. That's a fun word out of Pheromone. Okay, all right. I see you, Pheromone. You got that fucking word of the day calendar. I see what you're doing, baby.
keeping Medius off the field. And since it's
All right. This new spell, by the way, is just unbelievable. I don't know if you've read it. You probably have. You know, it was played all week. But Ascendance is just absolutely bonkers.
Search out a copy of Mr.
Grabbing the MST, even if all it's doing is freeing up your MST, its existence in the graveyard is just a huge positive.
premature burial active, but maybe this vision to draw 2 and discard 1.
All right, we're doing the draw. Now that we've thinned as much as possible, let's go for it. Let's see what we find off the top. And he announced draw as well.
Alan needs to put as much interference as he can.
Okay, Chant and... Okay, that was not really what we wanted. Chant and another manifestation. Oh, God, Vision! Have I been calling Vision Chant this entire time? Cringe!
But I guess you could just draw a new one.
That works too. A lot more economical that way.
So, Vision is one of those new series of cards that they aren't hard once per turns. They're hard once per effect per turn. All right, we're going for the other effect of our manifestation here, and we're chaining MST. That allows us to, of course, resolve the manifestation because MST does not yet negate, but also resolve the graveyard effect of manifestation to set again. We'll grab that third MST, and then, of course, the Veyroon as well. Just the judge walking through this sequence. So Veyroon 1, manifestation 2. Veyroon is functionally a negate. It's like a weird card, but it's good. The way to think about it, conceptualize it on a board state, is that it's a negate.
You can see the activation of Manifestation. If you're unfamiliar with the Radiant Typhoon strategy, you can actually activate both of the Radiant Typhoon quick play effects in the turn. So he already searched.
All right, we're grabbing that Eldam here.
One from the deck to the graveyard, but now he's able to search on.
I gotta ask you something about Varun, the art. It's a sexy anime lady. I thought it was a big snake. Until the new Varun came out, I thought it was a big snake. All right, we are... Ooh, no, just a total misapplication here. Oh, that's just a knowledge check. That's so rough. Going for the Eldam activates Ash says, okay, Varun negate. Oh, no.
Such a good card.
Oh, goodness. If we had Ashing the Vision was probably right here with complete knowledge of the hand, but, like... There wasn't really a good opportunity to do so. And this is where Varun shines. It enables you to get a Crocia down uncontested. And so now we can cycle back to MST. We've got, I think, 3 locked and loaded. There's no way that we can, like, resolve an equip spell from this position.
card so that his Corsair could get.
And you can see that that Alan has also boarded into the Di-Fi by shuffling. Does this Ash ever do anything? In a hand that's weaker, yeah. Ashing the Vision is pretty powerful if they go for the draw effect, but in a position like this, not really. Going for the Swen here.
Special summon Swen.
Special the Swen. Now the world is our oyster. Let's actually see if they're playing any of the threes. So if you're unfamiliar, this deck, Radiant Typhoon, wasn't pointed for the longest time, including its extra. Then they pointed Totem Bird and Cicada King. But a lot of people have just elected to cut the Cicada King entirely because this board is just as powerful. Like, no reason to overlay stuff for Totem Bird. Like, you just want Radiant Typhoons on your side of the field. It gives you survivability. You get incredible procs. Here's the Mandate. Nicholas just scoops him up, says, yeah, I can't beat that. That's so rough. And, you know, that's just one of those things where you feel bad shuffling because Doomsy is a deck that has 15 to 18 hand traps in it. And that time he drew the one that was not particularly impactful. So that was a win on turn 1 out of Doomsy, a win on turn 1 out of Radiant Typhoon. I'm excited to see what a boarded game looks like. It's going to be pretty depressing if it's just like set up, stop, set up, stop, set up, stop. Is shuffling a skill? No, but luck's a part of skill. I learned that from Duel Links. Luck's a part of skill. Wait, someone in the chat said Turning Point USA dual times how? What does that possibly mean? Turning Point USA dual times how? Oh, because someone above said people treat this like the Super Bowl halftime show. Yo, I'm switching over to the TP USA Genesys format. Kid Rock is playing against Dick Fuckler. I just wanna search my shit, ash my balls.
In the Proto-Ycs were cool tune.
Premature.
A lot of monarchs as well. Although 6 monarchs, one of them ended up rising up all the way above the others and making it into the top cut.
Ooh.
You know, it just kind of fell back a little bit.
Wait, shit. That's the Cali effect in chat here. He says, I still don't know what Doomsy does exactly. That's kind of the point of this format, right? It's a bunch of archetypes you're only sort of familiar with. Even Radiant Typhoon in the TCG, now, of course, it has a deck that does something. But for the longest time, it was very playable in Genesis. And in the TCG, it was like, oh, when you go first, it makes 2 3s for a rank 3.
That's what makes this so interesting. There's not like a paper, scissors, rock. It's like paper, scissors, rock if there was a million different combinations.
Doomsy sets up a droll. See, it's weird to even talk about it like that because I don't even think...
And Nicholas played the previous one last round. And
I don't even think I would characterize it as that. Like, I think its game plan is you want to make a towers in Drastera, right? Like, the droll just... from people who've played Doomsy and from the games that I played for the 100-point playtesting, my understanding is the droll never happens. Like, the droll is just never going to happen in any sort of reasonable scenario. I mean, think about this matchup, right? The droll works in a world where they don't have MST. But they can still activate visions to draw the MST, right? Like, there's so much they can still do.
That was a cool one to watch.
which also made the semifinals.
Yeah, that was first after Swiss, I believe.
It was. Edwin is a master of Genesis.
Already.
Like, he won the
You get to
first
eat a
one,
guy's material? Yeah, that's the big sell.
the second one as well.
I know he's had a lot of success.
He's done very well for himself, and it carried over here, too.
All right, let's see that game 3 hand.
And it looks like our players have just finished making their choices. They shuffled up. They've got their
Droll almost never resolves. Your real game plan is setting up F-Zero Drastris. I've played the deck since release. Are they on F-Zero?
Yes.
They are, good.
What you have because
Yeah.
there is no game after this. So
All right, here we go.
Duels have. Theo Realize gonna go set
Leading Theo Realize. That's pretty rough. Theo Realize is a shit card. So this bins Medius, and then you have to go minus on the Medius, right?
the top or the bottom.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, when he saw it.
Revealed it. He revealed
Judge,
it. It's a peek, not a reveal.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't. Oh, no. No, no, no. Yeah, okay, this is kind of a rough situation here. Theo Realize looks at the top card of your opponent's deck, but your opponent doesn't look at it.
I'm not supposed to see what exactly is on top of my deck. I already looked. I'm sorry.
So, with how that is,
All right, that's a match loss. Doomsy wins. That would have been probably the worst possible sell for this format. Is like 2 games with a player going first, 1 uncontested, followed by Theo Realize resolving the wrong way.
Okay.
You're going to go ahead and grab the card and look at it so that he can actually see it.
Yes.
And then we will continue from there. It is a minor. It is a warning.
That's a minor? Damn, that's crazy. Just knowing the top card of your deck is a minor?
I would be a little shocked if it was a common scenario.
Well, there's so very few cards that even do that, right? The Spiral.
That Pheromones are right here. I don't know why they're printing cards like this.
Every day that you look at the top card of your opponent's deck and they don't get to see it.
All right, so Medius.
Chad says, I might just tank that. Okay.
And this time, the power.
All right, Medius for the Power Patron here. Power Patron here, killer card. And it works so much better than the other Power Patrons that are a little vulnerable to like Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit because, look, we get to make Deoctris. Even if you pop the Power Patron, no big fucking deal, it triggers. So Deoctris here is going to trigger popping the Power Patron, and the Power Patron's effect to search will activate. We're just real quickly going over that.
They could just chain, yeah.
I think he
need to have a second.
looks like he even has Cosmic Cyclone.
All right, we are grabbing the continuous spell
I
here.
mean, if you add up all the access to Mystical Space Typhoon that he has, I guess theoretically he's not going to be able to search it.
They are talking about the matchup here. This is the disaster matchup for Doomsy. It's all MSTs versus the equipped spell deck. And the sell here is that you at least get to set up if you're going first. So Deoctris pops, it triggers. They're going to be able to summon a Doomsy from deck. I think that is Astra or Ilara rather. No, that's a Malth.
Basically premature.
There's Drastia. This is kind of the bread and butter setup. Grabbing Living Fossil as well. Checking Living Fossil. It's kind of weird playing Living Fossil, but you just have so many options for equip spells. You can play both it and pre-mat. All right, grabbing back the Medius. This is 2 4s, by the way, so we can go back into Deoctris, which will have the Medius underneath it, and therefore be like on. Oh, shit, I'm stupid. This is the F-Zero line. So we're going to go into Gaga Magician. We're going to detach the Malth. We're going to bring back the Deoctris, and then we can overlay for F-Zero and UDF. And again, against other decks, this is a much better play, but fucking Radiant Typhoon and all of its spell traps. All right, now we get to totally protected go Drastia, pop the continuous spell.
Doomsday change. 2 destroys a Doomsday card from my hand deck or field.
Go for change here.
What do I know in your hand? Nothing.
He says, what do I know in your hand? It's finals, buddy. I'm not revealing hidden information. We're going to pop the one we haven't yet, the other 4. Set the Droll.
Different route to it, a little bit more complicated, but I think
The Living Fossil is for Isold. Not playing Prem over Fossil? No, they're playing both. All right, and that explains it. Durg in the hand. Kind of a weird opener. Theo realized Durg in the hand. You expect that there's a pre-mat in the hand as well, right? Because they searched Fossil. I guess maybe you want pre-mat for follow-up, whereas Fossil just being an extender matters a little less, right? You're not going to actually use the effects of the monster. You just want it as material for the Gaga Magician. I get it. This is basically full combo. It is, but it could have been done a little more elegantly, and you would want to have like an Ash and an Ogre in your hand, right? Like that would feel fucking killer.
You pick up a thing or two. You got to play Genesys to know Genesys.
He plays what, like 30?
All right. So we did make it to Drastoris F-Zero. I mean, there it is. Says go. I'm feeling good. All right, Lava Golem.
There it is.
Hand looks pretty killer. I'm not gonna lie. Hand looks pretty killer. And this is the problem. When I say that the Droll never resolves, this is what I'm talking about. We are just staring down a Cosmic, right? Checking the Drastius. You got to read the hell out of this card. This card gets text as you read it. It is mimetic in that way. So it survives destruction once.
He has the Cosmic Cyclone in his hand.
When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can detach a material, negate the effect, then take it. And you have the inherited effect from the Doomdurg as well, so it can't be targeted.
How surprised would Nicholas feel to see Cosmic Cyclone come down in a deck with MST as its pivotal point? It just seems like such an interesting side deck choice.
I mean, you have to be playing it. There's so many cards in the format that either resist MST or, like, do not care.
I will summon Godarla by tributing.
What a crazy Godarla. Yeah, that's unbelievable. That's just the end of the game. Damn, you don't even have to worry about the back row now.
That lines up really well with having cards like Shina in your hand as well, being able to bounce that back to your own hand.
That's real good.
He said that was the first kaiju he ran into all tournament, Sag. That's really funny because everyone was boarding kaijus.
Now the
Grabbing the MST here.
has no valid target to equip to.
So now he's free to search Mystical Space Typhoon.
Attempt to use vision to draw
Well,
two
at least
and
since it's
discard one.
Genesis, we won't be seeing a great fly here.
All right, let's see what we find off the top.
Thinking here.
Ooh, Impulse. That's what we've spent our points on. Pitching the MST, you never want to see that with a live back row. That means they already have an out for it. There's the Varun from hand.
Logical discard.
God, even saving the Cosmic here to proc a Radiant Typhoon summon rather than like going for the back row. I mean, he knows that it's
Does it destroy?
the Droll Trap. Going for the
Deal to get to seal
the
it.
UDF here because it'll be offline afterwards, but unfortunately can't take there.
I forgot. I thought it was playing me. Alright. Anyways.
Well, the tournament
He
nerds
said,
will
anyways.
is a very important match.
Noble Knight Shield Bearer. Damn, that has come up really, really hard.
Lower level than Monston. Get him.
I'm grabbing the Eldam here, unsurprisingly. Grab the horse, you
MST in my graveyard.
son of a gun. That's what the card's for. Eldam Search. Doomsday players just looking at him like, man, it would be great if I had Droll and Lockbird live right now.
Very so nuanced, specific requirement.
People in the comments says Doomsday will win this. No, they won't. It's totally over. This is just the huge liability of a deck like Doomsday, as kaijus are so prevalent. Like, it's the same thing playing Cool Tune, right? Because you end on a Zaylin and a copy of Remix. Some players just shotgun the Remix. They're like, I don't need any of the
Both duelists coming into this fight.
any of the benefit of Remix. I don't need the quick removal or anything. I just want to get it off before it can get kaiju'd.
Allen can't close it out this turn. We'll see if Nicholas can.
Doomsday at least has the sell of being like, in a best of all possible worlds where the boarded hate they're finding isn't hand traps that stop my combo, but instead are breakers, I can put up a UDF and a kaiju, which is better than just one guy.
Placing a lot of monsters
Going for the Megala here.
That won't matter. We still have access to the extra deck of
Say it
Genesis. Maybe no link
And we get the
monsters.
triggers here. Going for Crocia. Man, this is just over, isn't it?
Searching
He has something to
MST.
stop it.
Doesn't look like it.
And
This might be funny to some of you.
It is funny. Genesis, more than any other format, really feels like the format in which the decks do the game plan they were designed to do. You know what I mean?
Definitely know that one's the most powerful. It's the one that searches too. I'm like, Swen starts with S, it searches spells and traps.
Like
S,
Tistina, for instance. It wasn't meant to be making Mercurium and setting Spell Canceller, right? But in Genesis, it like sets cards.
It's a good day at
Probably should have F-Zero'd the Crocia. Well, they F-Zero'd the Varun because otherwise the Varun contests the F-Zero, and then the Crocia resolves anyway. Like, the Varun really solves the big problem in this deck, which is negating the Crocia. And if you're playing against Doomsday, you're scared of Ash Blossom, one of the few decks in which you're actually scared of Ash Blossom. So you have to be, like, really, really gunning for that play regardless.
needs, and we were able to get through everything. He's doing that thing where duelists sort of calculate the next few moves in their head.
He said calculate the next few moves. Yeah, here's the move. Overlay, bitch. You don't even have to do that. Phonics, I think, is the card that cleans up this board.
Because it doesn't destroy. It
Yeah, here we go.
Its whole intended purpose.
Oh my god, are we tributing Phonics? Oh no! Alright, we saved the equip spell so the Phonics can trigger. Down goes the Droll. Wow, that is miserable. I mean, you do what you gotta do there, baby.
Doing that anymore. He's
It's
done well.
crazy how often you tribute summon in Radiant Typhoon. Alright, going down to 7. Phonics is 3. Crocia is 24. Just need to find like 400 damage out of our asshole. Looks like we've actually got it in grip already.
The joke, of course, being that we
It's
don't-
Varun Megala? Can't really see it. No, we're just going 24-3. Looks like we are living, but only barely. I mean, we get to set Impulse MST against the Equip spell deck. You expect the last card in hand is Premat, which the MST checks. Impulse the draw, and its lights.
Clear and accurately in the moment.
Tournament policy guidelines do say
Sets.
write those down.
Sets.
But now 2 sets.
Going to double check your graveyard. Yes. But
So one
So there is some stuff that can activate in the graveyard, but it's not consequential.
Just to make sure there's no graveyard effects.
Okay, I don't know what that was.
Does Medius the Pure in the graveyard?
and then this one
Might be up to Medius alone.
All right, let's go, baby.
He would. You absolutely have to shuffle back a monster.
You're good to go.
and
Cross.
Don't believe he has one in his hand. Let's
Okay,
see.
so we have access to Medius, all things considered.
Premature burial.
Unsurprisingly, it's pre-mat. That's the easiest MST in the world. Oh, he's letting it go. Says, I prefer the MST to trigger the Phonics. That's crazy. With the Varun in hand and everything. Maybe we're just calling target. Yeah, I was like, there's just no fucking way. Yep, that's it, baby. Holy moly. Oh, man. If I was Nicholas, I'd be so mad. The absolute worst matchup into the absolute most consequential side deck stuff. Oh, jeez. Horrible matchup. Legitimately like an 80-20. Rough. Maybe we need to hit Radiant Typhoon harder. I think all the decks represented in the top 8 are going to get hit, with the exception of Doomsy, which I think the guy just had a crazy run. I think the difference is, with respect to Radiant Typhoon, that was like the best possible matchup. I do think that Mirage of Nightmare will be repointed. I think this was a big mistake. The Sheena doesn't read pointed on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro deck. This is a 10-point card. It could go higher, honestly.